Welcome everyone to Living in Faith. This show is powered by World Energy Healers. Join us at the Holistic Wellness Fair Summit on November 1st. Visit www.weqhsummit.com to get more details or just go to the QR code below. Welcome, Pablo. How are you?
Absolutely awesome. Rejoicing over the fact that I'm here right now. I love our show. I love talking about faith. And today's topic being faith over fear, walking in trust when life feels uncertain. Is absolutely amazing. I think it's a topic that everybody wants to hear about.
Yes. And, I just want to set the record straight. Most people believe when we talk about faith, it's just about religion. So, I did a little research and I said, how can I help the audience to understand it's not about religion? Religion is the path, but faith is the power, right? Faith lives inside of us. So whether we follow a different religion or whatever religion we do follow or don't follow, it really, to understand this at the core, faith is the bridge between our mind, our spirit, and the limited possibilities that we don't even see that can happen. So when we say, living in faith versus fear, is really understanding that fear is a quick reaction, but faith is a decision that we make. No matter what we see, we want to believe what we want to bring joy to our life, right? To get over that fear, to help us get over that fear. So let's talk about that because, again, it's such a way of thinking. It's a state of mind that I've been challenged so many times in my life. And that if I didn't have the faith to overcome those challenges, I would not be here doing this show to share this information. So I'm here because my faith is strong, and it gets stronger every day because I'm here sending the same message. And I'm not special. I'm the same thing as everyone else listening, and same as you, Pablo. So let's talk about it.
Well, what I like about the topic is really, I find the topic to be very empowering. Empowering because everything begins with your thoughts. Everything begins on your minds. You're the one that makes the decision whether you say in fear and you're going to go with faith. So what happens here with us is that we have been living in fear our whole lives. Think about it. We have been living in fear our whole lives. If I go back to my country, Ecuador, right? What you learn, and even your ancestors, and what I have seen here in the United States, is that people, they're afraid and they're tired of being poor, right? So they're tired of being poor. So what happens is they get the first job at McDonald's, and what happens is I have a job, now I have a paycheck, I'm not poor anymore. That's what the devil wants you to think. What the devil is doing is he's playing with your mind, saying, "Hey, now you have money in your pocket. Now you can go out. You can buy. You can do whatever you want." And guess what? The French fries are free. Well, what happens right here is that it's all every single moment that we have, we can either accept or reject whatever thoughts come to our mind. I'm talking about right now is being sidetracked, if you will, right? The devil comes to you and says, now you have a job. Okay, now you don't have to go to college anymore because now you have become a manager, and here you are, you're a manager at McDonald's, but now you're a manager at McDonald's for the next 20 years. Now, if you stay on track and you go to college, right, as soon as you graduate, you're going to be making probably 10 times more than what you're making at McDonald's. It's all decisions that we make. But what the devil likes to do is he likes to tempt us with the things of life, what's the earthly things, the things that go with our ego, and we go along with those things. Okay, so that's one of the fears. One of the fears, once again, we're talking about faith over fear. The fear that I'm talking about is the fear of being poor, and the fear of let's talk about fear of love, right? Faith over fear. We're talking of the fear of love, right? What happens is you end up marrying your first girlfriend, your first boyfriend, right? Without even really getting to know the first person. Why? Because you're afraid of not being loved, right? And then you end up getting stuck on a bad relationship for a long, long time. So the idea behind this thing, and what I'm trying to sell you guys, what I'm trying to tell you is, what you need to do is spend time in any decision that you make. Get God involved in it. Get God involved in whatever decision you make, and before you know, you're going to be making decisions that are pleasing to yourself, pleasing to God, and it's all going to be based on your faith, if you will, right? Once again, just sticking with the fact that all decisions, faith over fear, and I'm saying that you have decision to make. You have the power to make those decisions.
The choice. It's a choice that we have to intentionally make, right? And when we're not thinking and we don't take time to get quiet, to listen to what we really want, because that's where you become more powerful, is when you say, okay, regardless of what's going on out there in the world, what I want is this. And if it's for the betterment of for yourself, to grow, and for the betterment of other people, what you're doing, there is no way that you're not given the resources that you need to go out and share whatever it is that, whatever gifts you bring to this world, because we all bring gifts. But I love what you said before, is that we when we give power to fear, the ego gets in. It's the ego doing this. It's like, I can't go out there and do that, because what are they going to think about you? Who do you think you are? Like, I remember those voices in my head. Who do you think you are, doing these shows? Well, I'm doing these shows. It's not about me. It's about bringing information out to the audience, whoever's watching, to know that if you are living in uncertainty and you have fear about going to, take that job, change the career that you're in, if you're not feeling well, have the strength to know that there's something inside of you that we all have that will carry you forth during these uncertain times. And that's why I'm doing this show. So it's not about me that I'm doing this show. It's about, what can I give to make this world a better place? And that's kind of like where faith comes in for me, to like keep going no matter what.
Exactly, it's the same thing with me now. What I did is, I asked God what my purpose was in life was, and He told me that I was supposed to be sharing the word, if you will, with the world. Now, what happens here is, in life, right? In life, if you are working on purpose, right? Whether your purpose right now is to get a job, to find love, to do whatever you want, whatever it is that you want to do, you always set up your trail as to how you're going to get there. That's what you do, right? You're doing that all on your own, and it could take you years before you get it. What I'm suggesting, because we're saying we're living in faith right here, what I'm suggesting is, if we were to involve God in our lives and ask God, what my purpose in life is, and we align our purpose with His purpose, watch the wonders that He does. I have been a CPA for like 35 years. And until I asked God what my purpose in life was, you could say that I made $300,000. $300,000 came this way. I was never able to hold on to anything. I did not hold on to anything. It wasn't until I met Martita, and then we're both in line with God's purpose, that now, the abundance is like, oh my God, oh my God. And all I'm doing is I'm spending more time with God, less time in my office, but I have grown a very nice practice, and the blessings keep coming in and in. So what you said is, your I want. The I want. I'm saying take that I want into your purpose. Convert that into your purpose, and whatever your purpose is, right? Once again, we have spoken about this before. Whatever it is that you want, you can write it down to remind yourself what your purpose in life is. Put on your mirror so when you get in there, you know what it is that you're going for every single day. Perhaps in the morning you get up, with the backache. Oh my God, I don't know if I'm going to make it today. But then you see it on the mirror, your purpose, right? This is no, forget this. That's much better. That's more interesting than what I have over here. You forget that backache and you're going for your purpose. You're going for your purpose. And now, Gigi, tell everyone how it is that we can make that purpose become a reality, right? What are some of the things that we do, right? We write them down, we repeat them to ourselves, and then even before we go to sleep, now, what you want to do is you want to have a communication with God. You want to have a relationship with God. A relationship, meaning that you want to get to know Him better. In order to get to know God better, you need to really dig into the scriptures. Now, what you're going to find is that once you dig into the scriptures and you have that relationship with God, when you ask Him for something, it's like, ordering room service. It's like that. It's like that. Oh my God! I want the whole world to hear it again. Hear it again. It's really like room service when you're with God. My daughter, she was living in a tiny. It's supposed to be a one bedroom, but it was more like a studio. And then the baby Atreus came to this world, and then that apartment was so small. I went to visit, almost cried, and I asked God. I didn't even finish telling God what I wanted. And I went into just gratitude, thanking God, because for me everything is impossible. For Him, everything is possible. I went to gratitude, thanking God because He has already given my daughter this great apartment. My daughter applied for this lottery apartments, and then I keep telling this story to my clients to give them hope, And then one of my clients says, my apartment is a lottery apartment. I waited 15 years to get my apartment. 15 years. My daughter got it in 2 months. So, faith tells you, I can do everything through Christ. Fear says, the devil talking to you, right? He tells you, you're kidding me. He says, you make too much money. The lottery apartment is for poor people. You have to do that, which is something that was very interesting because I asked my daughter, do you want me to lower your salary? And she looked at me and she says, Dad, whose daughter am I? You're the one that told me, I just have to believe. And then I said, I had to bite my tongue. I was like, you're right. And like I said, not even 2 months, she got this beautiful 2-bedroom apartment with everything in there. Absolutely amazing. So really, when you're walking with faith, your faith can actually do wonders. Now, faith is really having a relationship with God. I make fun of saying that it is like ordering room service. It would be a room service if you have a relationship with God. If you do not have a relationship with God, you're going to have a hard time. But right off the bat, what I did is I did something based on what we said, right? I'm just going to call out 4 scriptures, which are really quick, just the essence of them. Isaiah 41:10 says, so do not fear, for I am with you. That's a promise that God said. The book of Isaiah is one of the most amazing books ever, because Isaiah, he's a prophet, and he talks about things that were to come. He's the one that announced the coming of Jesus Christ. He announced how he was going to come, how everything was going to happen. Amazing. Another one, I think, is everybody's favorite, Psalm 23. Right? Psalm 23. Even though I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, right? God is giving you hope every single moment. You can just go back to this. Another one, Philippians 4:6-7 says, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. It's all in the Bible. And the last one, 2 Timothy 1:7 says, "For God has not given you a spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind." And a sound mind. Everything starts with your mind. Every single thing starts with your mind. So if you want something, because we're talking about faith over fear, you're the one that controls your thoughts. You have to control your thoughts. Now, what happens is all of our thoughts have been about, what we know of the world. We have not really focused on the heavenly things that God has for us. Why? Because we don't even know. I remember myself.
Yep.
I grew up in going to church, but I never had a Bible. Oh, look at that.
Let's switch over. It's so true. So true. It's like if we really think about, what we're being told and what we're doing, and what the scriptures say, like there's a disconnection, right? There's a disconnection. So what we're saying is reconnect to the truth of who we are, why we're here, and your purpose. And your purpose is your gifts. What do you love to do? Go out there and do it and share your gifts with the world. And that's where the fear goes away, because you become stronger than the fear. So let's switch over to our friends and share some of it in Spanish.
Just going to finish one last thing there. Once again, I cannot say enough about establishing a relationship with God.
Of course.
Having a relationship with God will help you overcome that fear. You'll have the opportunity to replace the faith-based beliefs with the fear. So that's a very, very important. Okay. Muy buenas noches. Estamos hablando sobre la fe sobre el miedo. La fe sobre el miedo. Faith over fear. Y que esto enfatiza que tenemos que tener una confianza en algo que es mucho más grande que nosotros. Lo que es más grande de nosotros es Dios. ¿Okay? Entonces, pero aquí, para tener, lo que necesitamos es tener una relación con Dios. Si usted no tiene una relación con Dios, hoy día es un buen momento para empezarlo. Hoy día es un muy buen momento para empezarlo, porque si usted... Lo que tiene que hacer es profundizarse en las escrituras. Al entrarse a las escrituras, lo que usted va a encontrar es el carácter de Dios. Lo que usted va a encontrar son las promesas que Dios ha hecho en todo el mundo. Aquí, yo estoy aquí con los ojos abiertotes, porque mientras más aprendo, yo me estoy enamorando más y más de Dios. Primero, lo que veo es que la Biblia, ¿no? Dios es todopoderoso, y me voy a enfocar en el apóstol Pablo. El apóstol Pablo era un judío y era también un fariseo. ¿Okay? Es uno de los hombres más poderosos, bien enseñados, porque el que le enseñó a él, y también era romano, el que le enseñó a él fue uno de los profesores más grandes de la ley de Moisés. Entonces, lo que sucede es, este señor es el perseguidor de los cristianos. Y lo que sucede aquí es que él al ser un perseguidor, él está... lo que perseguía es cualquier persona que creía en Jesucristo. Este señor perseguía, le escogía, le metía en la cárcel, y la persona que murió apedrado fue Esteban. ¿Okay? Eso es lo que le usó a Esteban como el ejemplo, que si usted no denuncia a Dios, a Jesucristo, que eso es lo que le va a pasar. Entonces, Dios, en su infinita sabiduría, le escogió a Saúl de Tarso para que escriba una gran parte del Nuevo Testamento. Él es el que coge y hace el puente del Viejo Testamento y el Nuevo Testamento, diciendo prácticamente, él se sabe la ley de Moisés, y aquí viene, ahora está diciendo, sí, esto está aquí, y aquí está Jesucristo. Lo que dice la ley, el Antiguo Testamento, que es todo por sus hechos, aquí está diciendo, no, todo es por la gracia de Dios. Entonces aquí, eso es parte de lo que usted va a ver. Entonces lo que estoy diciendo aquí es que usted tiene que venir, le estoy dando una oportunidad para que crea en la Biblia, porque la Biblia no fue escrita por gente que estaba alineada con Jesucristo, que estaba alineada con Dios. Estoy diciendo a los que escribieron la Biblia, el más grande, el apóstol Pablo, que escribió las 15 epístolas, él, él estaba contra Jesucristo, él estaba persiguiendo a Jesucristo y él escribió una gran parte de la Biblia. ¿Okay? Y también hablemos de Mateo. ¿Qué era Mateo? Mateo era un recaudador de impuestos, otra persona que no tenía ningún favor con Dios. Él fue el que cogió, escribió todo lo que veía que hacía Jesucristo y eso se formó parte de la Biblia. Entonces, estoy diciendo, la Biblia tiene hechos de historia y aquí está la Biblia, tiene el Antiguo y tiene el Nuevo Testamento. O sea, ha sido probada, es una maravilla, una maravilla. La Biblia está llena de lo que cuando usted se mete a la Biblia va a ver el carácter de Dios, va a ver las promesas de Dios. Todo empieza en el jardín de Edén. Okay, con la caída de Adán y Eva, el pecado y todo eso desde ahí. De ahí, después de eso, vienen acá los reyes, todos advirtiéndonos que debemos dejar el pecado y encontrar a Dios. Siempre a cada momento ha sido así, toda la Biblia y es el mismo mensaje aquí. Entonces aquí, yo tengo aquí mi mensaje, dice, cambie sus pensamientos, usted cambia su mundo. Cambie sus pensamientos, usted cambia su mundo. Aquí, la fe y el miedo, todo entra por nuestra mente. Nosotros somos los que decidimos qué es lo que vamos a creer. Pero si usted ha estado así como yo estaba antes de encontrar a Cristo, usted nada más tiene cree lo que sus padres creían, sus abuelos, tatarabuelos, todo eso, y lo que su pueblo crea, pero usted tiene que hacer su propia investigación. Si usted se entra a las escrituras son la verdad. Las escrituras son la verdad. Cuando usted se entra ahí, usted va a ver el carácter de Dios. Dios es amor. Dios es amor y eso es lo que va a ver aquí. Entonces, para poder decir aquí, escoger sobre el miedo o la fe, estoy diciendo, primero usted tiene que tener una relación con Dios. Tiene que tener una relación con Dios. Para tener esa relación con Dios, primero tiene que conocerle a Dios. La mejor manera de conocerle es sus propios ojos, no por videos que ve por aquí, no por nada o por algo que dijo, porque ahí también hay profetas falsos aquí. Entonces, con sus propios ojos se entra y se hace un estudio bíblico y ahí usted va a ver la verdad de Dios. Cuando usted empiece con eso, va a ser el principio de una relación con Dios. Y después de eso, ahí le puedo decir, va a venir el bautismo. Y ahí hay tantas cosas que usted va a aprender. Una cosa que solamente es todo, va a comprender que todo es por la gracia de Dios. Todo es por la gracia de Dios. Hey, Gigi, there's not enough time for this. This topic, I don't know if people can understand everything I said because I'm talking so fast. I'm trying to get it all out there.
It's okay. You know what? It's a message from the heart, right? It's a message from the heart to, reconnect with God. I mean, let God
To have a relationship with God.
but we did. I mean, we can go on and on and on, but when we were feeling good, when we were happy, when there's joy in our life, that's the connection with God, right? If we're not feeling happy and we're struggling and we're suffering with sickness and illness and doubt and unworthiness and all that, that's where the uncertainty comes in. That's when we feel fear. So the question is, we have to make a choice, an intention intentionally choose faith and say, it's going to be okay. It's going to work out for me. It's going to work out for me because God lives within me and he's with me every step of the way. And so when we give that message, that's the message of hope for us and for the world, and watch the magic happen. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Gigi, I like to just go over the scriptures real quick in Spanish.
One,
Okay.
okay, we literally have one more minute.
Okay. Eh, Aquí, cuando estamos escogiendo la fe sobre el miedo, acuérdense en Isaías 41:10 que dice, así que no temas porque yo estoy contigo. La garantía que Dios está con usted. El Salmo 23, uno de mis favoritos. Aunque ande en el valle de la sombra de la muerte, no temeré mal ninguno porque yo sé otra vez que Dios está conmigo. Filipenses capítulo 4, versículos 6 y 7, dice, no se inquieten por nada, más bien en toda situación, con oración y ruego, presenten sus peticiones a Dios. Y aquí otra más, 2 Timoteo 1:7 dice, porque no es os dado Dios un espíritu de cobardía, sino de poder, de amor y dominio propio. Acuérdense en esas 4, y cuando tengan que tomar una decisión de fe o miedo, siempre lean esas escrituras y van a ver cómo le cambia su vida. Okay. Thank you, Gigi.
You're welcome. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Until next time, this is Living in Faith.
Thank you much. Okay, bye-bye.